everyone. I was so happy to see so many people getting the message that I've given a couple of weeks ago. And I just want to remind you of some very important things. Medicine always likes to have standards. I don't blame them. I mean, how can we serve a huge public of 8 billion people and not have some standards to follow? The problem with standards is that creativity just goes away, out of the basket. The big thing about my work is that it's always in the field. I always check and want to know what happens to everyone. And kinesthetically, I want to feel deeply inside what is the real need is. And of course, I have much less responsibility than a surgeon that cuts through your body and hopes to remove a tumor, to remove an obstruction like cataract, and that you'll do well. But one thing they don't have is that is an intuition if it will do well or not. And I shouldn't say they, because some surgeons do. Some surgeons are real healers. Some doctors are real healers. And they know what's going on. But they're far and few between. Normally it is standard. So before you know it, if you have a little bit of pressure in the eyes, they'll give you drops. Doesn't matter that 5 years from now those drops will cause you cataracts, bleeding in the retina, all kinds of destructions. But now the drops look like exactly what you need, exactly what a doctor ordered. You don't see well, you see 5% less than they think you should see, you get glasses. Doesn't matter that your eyes adapt to the glasses, and in fact see worse because of them. For example, when you go to an optometrist, often you're under some stress. And that stress, unlike the knowledge of the medical profession, leads to poorer vision. I cannot give you a better example than my own daughter. Just about a few days before her 10th birthday, she went to her ophthalmologist. But on the way to the ophthalmologist, she went to the optometrist in the hospital system where she belonged. Now, she had an optometrist she really trusted and liked. And she always had good results with that optometrist. Just to remind you, my daughter, like myself and like my son, were born with cataracts. And they removed her lens at the age of 2 weeks. So the glasses were basically like prostheses. So she went to the optometrist, but this time there was a different optometrist, very nervous one. Nice, but nervous lady who started to measure her, and she saw worse and worse and worse. And her vision ended up being 40% with very high correction. While before, it was 75% with less correction. So how do we get there? Nervousness. Then I came, before she saw the doctor himself. My ex-wife had a very sad face. I put a patch over her strong eye, which happened to be her left eye. I asked her to look at the moving cars from the 5th floor at the UC system. It's so beautiful to look at those cars and look at the trees and describe them all. And as soon as she saw the doctor, without glasses, her vision was already 75% of normal vision. Without glasses. And he was kidding with her. He was looking at her retina and told her all kinds of funny things. She yelled at him like you yell at an uncle. And her vision was first time, 20/20, or what they call 100%, just before the age of 10. Right there and then, we reduced her prescription by 8 diopters, from 27 to 19. And her vision was good, and it's still good ever since. She's now 30 years of age. And we're talking about the doctor seeing her more than 20 years ago. That's a good example. So when you go to the optometrist, often your vision is the same vision you have when you're stressed. The worst you could have. And then the optometrist fits you glasses, you give her a call and you say, oh, the glasses are kind of hard on me. What will she tell you? The standard thing. Adjust. How do you adjust? You weaken your eyes. You weaken your eyes. So now I have a very wonderful client who tells me that the drops really, really bother her, so she doesn't take them. And she has glaucoma, and she lost some vision. So we work on her vision loss. But then I met a person who came to one of my workshops who measured his own pressure and found that one drop, not 3 drops a day, 1 drop every 3 weeks takes away his pressure. And I met another one who just took drops before appointments, but basically her pressure was okay. And now you're talking to me. I was told already in my 30s to take anti-blood pressure medications. I'm approaching my 70s. I'm going to be 69 this September. My blood pressure is okay. It had its fluctuation. It goes up and down. Depends how much sugar I eat, irresponsibly, I must say. But basically, I refuse to take statin with all the side effects it has. I refuse to take medication. Don't understand me right. Some people have very high blood pressure and they may have to take medications. But often you're being pushed those medications long before time. And I was pushed and I didn't take them. And I live to be happy with that decision. So what I want you to understand is standards at times work and most of the time they actually don't. For that reason, building deep inner kinesthetic awareness that comes with deep breathing, with better blood flow that is silent, but we can feel when it's there or not there. And we have very nice signs and symptoms that show us when it's there or not. For example, if you're overly fatigued, it's clear your blood doesn't flow well. If your hands and feet feel cold, it means the blood doesn't flow well. While loosening your hips and sometimes resting some extra can make all the difference. When you feel weak, your blood doesn't flow well. But sometimes exercising makes the difference. And there are more and more signs and symptoms which I want to share with you. But one important thing for you to know is that working on your breath, working on your senses, that's not a luxury, that's a necessity. Spending time in getting better and not responding to simple standards makes a huge difference. A urine test reveals a lot, but not most things. A blood test reveals a lot, but not most things. I still think that the argument between those who believed in the vitality of the body, but for my taste were too religious, and those who believe just that you have to check the body in a very methodical way for signs and symptoms. That's what was written in any pathology book that I read. The signs and the symptoms are missing the whole point, are specialized in a small percentage of the human reality. The vital forces of the body should arrive into the surface. They will be able to surpass all illnesses, weakness and degeneration. And we have to listen to them, record and understand them. And that's what I teach you to do. That's what I teach you in every encounter I have with you. I wish you well and have a very, very nice summer.